welcome to another episode of my 100-pound weight loss. Today I am joined by a good friend, Suzette. Welcome, Suzette.
Thank you.
So Suzette and I have known each other for a super long time. We established that I think it's about 20 years we've known each other. Suzette was actually a bridesmaid in Adam and I's wedding. So I have to show a picture of that so you guys can verify that Suzette and I have been friends for
real. That's
forever.
really us. I can't believe it.
There we are. Look at us, babies.
Oh, yes.
I think I was 27 when I got married, so
Wow.
and you're a couple years younger than me, so
Yep.
all right.
Babies.
So tell everybody a little bit about how we met and how we became friends.
Yeah. I was looking for a part-time job in college and randomly applied at this stationery store at the mall called Papyrus. And Sarah worked there too, and we got to know each other there, and she pretty much ran the place. So
Eventually I did, actually. So
she really did, yeah. So she taught me everything I know about stationery. Fun fact about Sarah.
Little did everyone know that I knew a lot about stationery. So we also would like get together and make cards and have like craft nights. Typically
Go
with
thrifting.
Yes. Typically that would involve pizza. So alcohol, possibly one of the reasons both of us had some weight to lose.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? So, I'm going to show Suzette's before pictures now, real quickly. So here is Suzette in her before pictures. So Suzette, how much did you weigh in these pictures?
Not totally sure. I think the highest recorded was 420. I think the one on the left may have been even higher than that, honestly. I think the one on the right is probably around 400. So
okay.
Yeah.
So first I want to talk about your process. So you've obviously lost, how much have you lost now?
I just hit 200 recently.
Which is amazing. Double what I've lost.
I started higher, so.
Started a tad higher. So that's incredible. What's been your process for losing the weight?
Well, the biggest thing is I went on a meal replacement program it's medically supervised. The product is called OptiFast. You may have heard of it. It's basically meal replacement shakes, and you can either use powders or pre-made shakes. I did the pre-made shakes because I know myself, and the least work I have to do possible, that's what's going to work for me.
Right.
And then after a few weeks, they want you to get started on exercise. So I've been doing Apple Fitness videos, which is really cool because it's all connected to my Apple Watch, and I can see my progress there. And it's been my process pretty much the whole time.
Awesome. So when Suzette was going to start her diet, she did reach out to me knowing that my husband and I are in the nutrition coaching business. And she asked me if I had heard of the program, and I honestly had to Google it to see what it was about. And I was intrigued, but for me, of course, I had some my skepticism of doing meal replacement a lot of times is it maintainable? Is it going to work long term? Which obviously it has worked really well for you. Is there any point in the diet? So at this point, are you still just doing shakes?
No, actually, that changed the first weekend. I went in after the first week and I had lost 14 pounds, which was amazing, but I was miserable.
Okay.
And it was for a reason that I did not expect. And it was because I wasn't chewing anything. I was literally drinking all day, every day. My meals, my water was just liquid. And it was weird and I didn't like it. So my sister had actually done OptiFast years ago. And she said, oh, when I was on it, they let me have vegetables. So I went in there, like raw vegetables.
Okay.
And I went in there and said, do you think I could have some raw veggies just that night, like as my dinner, like with my dinner shake?
Mm-hmm.
And they were worried at first because, the whole act of chewing is like causes
a trigger
yes,
of? Okay.
trigger for cravings and that kind of thing. And I said, just trust me, I can do it. And so they said, okay. And I did it. And that was my like saving grace for the first 6 months. I did the 5 shakes and had some cut up vegetables at night. And that was my way of getting through the day. So,
right.
And it's not that dramatic. It wasn't like a do or die situation, but it really helped move things along. And then, so about that 6-month mark, I said that, well, I was actually cheating, to be honest. A little juicy. I about once a week I would have like a salad. It was a good meal, but I would have it was like a salad with protein, like chicken.
Got you.
And after a few weeks I fessed up, and they were like, "Oh, you're doing so good. Like that's totally okay."
So basically it was cheating, but they were like, since it's still working, you can do that.
Yeah, and it was good cheating.
Okay.
I wasn't like having candy bars or anything. So
right.
They were like, yeah, you can have a meal or 2 a week. Let's see how that goes. So
That's awesome.
I did that for a few months. And then
because I think when we saw each other last, so before I moved, you were having 1 meal a week that was like healthy.
I was still in that.
Yeah.
Yep. And then a couple months ago, I was still doing well with the couple meals a week, and it actually went up to like 2 or 3, and they suggested I go to once a day because they do have a transition period in this program, but I wanted to take that very slowly and ramp up very slowly so it wasn't a big shock to my system and just my habits. And so that's where I'm at now. I'm at 1 meal a day, which 99% of the time is a salad with protein, either chicken or salmon.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you're transitioning to eating more food. So eventually in this process, will you get to where you're not doing shakes and you're just eating real food, or will it be like 1 shake a day and 2 meals a day or something like that?
They leave that up to you.
Okay.
It's working so well for me. I can see myself staying on 1 or 2 a day. Okay. Especially like breakfast. Like
it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot of salad options for breakfast, but I guess I could. So yeah, that's honestly where I see it going, but who knows?
Okay.
Not sure.
Yeah. So within the process, would you say like what has been the biggest challenge?
Well, definitely at first the biggest challenge was meal times with my husband, because that's who lives in my house is me and my husband. We don't have kids or anything, so it was a big disruption to our daily habits, and we used to go out to eat a lot, almost every meal.
Yeah. I remember.
Not so much the eating, honestly, but just that routine and that socializing it took up a lot of our day. Like, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? And that conversation just disappeared, which in some ways was good because we didn't have to figure that out. But also we just didn't have really that time to share together. So it was kind of a shock to our way of life, and then just the socializing with other people too. Like,
what do you do when you get together with your friends? You typically go out to eat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we do things after, but yeah. So for a while there, I just didn't go out with people, but eventually I would just take a shake and have that at the restaurant, and it took me a while to get comfortable with that, but after a while I did, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds very similar to, since we work with a lot of bodybuilders. Yeah. When bodybuilders are prepping, their diets are very specific and particular, and a lot of times they don't want to risk eating restaurant food. Mm-hmm. And so I have talked before with Adam about one of, I think, the biggest challenges when he competed was the change in dynamic of what we did for fun. Because before that, what we did for fun was go to dinner.
Yes.
And if he can't really eat anything there, that really changes things. So I totally understand that part of it. And even with my own dieting, sometimes I'm like, do I want to go out to eat if I have to make the particular choices that I have to make to stay on track?
Right.
Like, is it worth it? Like, is it worth the money, the time?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm not really gonna like enjoy it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So all of those, definitely, I think the challenge of being social while dieting is a huge one. And
Yes.
also, what about like holidays, family events?
Yeah. Once I told them, everyone was, very supportive and on board. But there was some, growing pains of, at first they were like, well, can't you just have one meal? And it was like, well,
No.
I could, but it's just easier for me to just stick to the program. So it took some conversations, and they're like, you don't eat any food? I'm like, no, not quite. But I don't know. They're on board now, and they're used to it. And now holidays are honestly super easy because everyone gets what I'm doing, and it's all worked out. So yeah.
I think too, like, you can kind of change the focus of holidays to being so food related to being like spending time together is really like the more important thing, right?
That's
like,
why we're here.
Yeah, we're not here just because we need to eat turkey and stuffing. Like, we're here to share like in family time and those kinds of things.
Exactly.
So I want to go through your picks. So so this is the first set of picks. So here you said you're about 420. So the next set. So I hope I put these in order. I think they're...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
And here you're like progressing from in the purple kind of top. Where would you say you are about there?
I honestly can't remember. I don't know. If I had to guess, probably...
Give us a guesstimate.
Yeah, like 380, 375.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're in the peach top. I see a big difference between the peach
and
the...
Yeah, that was probably like 320, 330.
Okay. And then... Here we go. Next set of picks.
Okay.
So by the time we get to the end of this set of picks, what would you say?
I wish I had dates on these. Yeah, it's probably the same kind of pattern, like probably around 300, and then I know that one was in the fall, so the middle one was in the fall, so that was like right before I hit
the 200s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the ever shrinking Suzette. I just had a question because the striped top is in a lot of these pictures.
Yes, I
did
forgot
you buy
to
that in every size or something?
I did. So I forgot to explain that.
I was like, she keeps having the same striped top, and I was like, it's definitely not the same top.
So in the first set, I had that shirt on. It was like my favorite shirt ever, but it was in the biggest size. And one of my friends at work turned me on to Poshmark, which is, like...
I know what Poshmark is.
Used clothes.
Yeah.
And so I went on there and I was like, man, if I lose a lot of weight, I won't be able to wear this shirt anymore. So I went on purposely looking for that specific shirt in a smaller size, and I actually found 3 of them. And I didn't even think about like the progress pics of it. I
Right.
just got it because I love that shirt so much. So I wanted to keep wearing it as I was losing weight. So
But it really worked out for the progress pics because wait,
yeah.
here it is again.
I think I have 4 total.
I was like, well, this cannot be the same shirt. So I love that. So at the end of this one, where is your weight there?
So that's probably, where am I at now? Probably like 250.
Okay.
260, 250. Yeah.
And then here is the last set. And you told me that the pick in the green, teal kind of color.
Yep.
It was today.
Yes.
Awesome.
So that was 210, 212. Yeah.
Amazing. So, just let us know, how tall are you, Suzette?
5'4".
Okay. All right. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about the reason that you decided to focus on weight loss and really like get going this time.
Well, at the very end of 2020, the whole world was in a pandemic. I actually had to go to the emergency room for irregular bleeding, and turns out I had endometrial cancer. So, throughout learning about my diagnosis, it was basically told to me in so many words that it was because I was overweight. So, having the weight caused me to not have periods, and then that built up the estrogen, which caused the cancer. So realizing that because of the cancer, I had to have a partial hysterectomy. Mm-hmm. So after hearing that basically it was preventable, because if I was not so overweight, it may not have even happened. It was a kind of eye-opening moment of, okay, we need to do something about this. So
right,
that's what I took that whole year of 2021 of recovering from surgery and really taking time to look at myself and my life and where I wanted things to go. And
right,
yeah, it wasn't an overnight thing.
Wow. Yeah. So some people have those like pivotal moments in life where they're like, I have to do something about this.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's a huge motivator, because if your health is at risk and your life is at risk, like there's no better reason to be like, I'm getting serious.
Yes.
Like I can't live like this anymore.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
So before that happened, had you tried to lose weight before?
Yes. Okay. I've been overweight my entire life.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the first times I can remember are in high school. Obviously still living at home with my parents. My mom did all the programs. The one that worked best for her was Weight Watchers. And so she had me tag along sometimes, and I hated it.
Oh, see, I was just about ready to say shout out to Weight Watchers, because I actually did Weight Watchers too.
You did.
And Weight Watchers did work. Like, I don't think it's a terrible system. I think it's a pretty good system for the most part.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I give Weight Watchers props. It's like, it's one of the classics, and I think it does work. But obviously Weight Watchers has its flaws. And I will say, clearly it didn't work for you.
Yeah.
And long term, it didn't work for me either. Okay, so Weight Watchers didn't work.
Yes.
What other systems did you try?
I actually did try Weight Watchers a couple times. But the other thing, I tried another meal replacement program, and I can't even remember the name of it, because it was like, just order the stuff on your own and just do it on your own. And that did not work very well at all. I think that was bars. It was bars instead of shakes. because I had like no guidance. So just trying to do it on my own. And then I had some other medical issues about 10 years ago. And so I got pretty serious then and actually got a personal trainer and who helped me with meal planning as well. So that was like the most, I don't know, natural way that I tried. And that did pretty well. I actually ended up losing about 70 pounds.
Wow.
And then I met my husband and we got comfortable and happy. And I went back to where I was. So.
That's a huge trend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
So what was it, the difference, do you think, between like Weight Watchers and what you're doing now that it just like really clicked and it's working?
Two main factors. One, part of why I didn't like Weight Watchers was the group aspect.
Okay.
I didn't like not having to share in front of people, but they really encourage, being part of a group and having accountability with other people and sharing your wins and what you're struggling with. And I just was never super comfortable in a group setting. I wanted it to be more personalized and individual. And the other thing was the point system was good, and I agree that it does work for a lot of people, but I needed something even more basic and honestly drastic to really shake things up. So this program, you see a nutritionist and a doctor every week. You check in with them, and it's individual, so you're just talking to the doctors, and I have almost no decisions to make because I just drink my ready-made shakes. And then when I have a meal, I have to make my decisions, but just very easy for me.
Right, because I know we talked about macros before, because I lost weight tracking macros, and I think the issue for you was it's almost like too much freedom. And I think that's an issue for a lot of people that end up not wanting to do macros.
At least at first for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did mention that might be something you can transition to eventually and then have some more freedom with still being able to maintain your weight loss and those kinds of things. Because obviously you can't drink shakes only for the rest of your life.
No, that's not the plan.
Yeah. That'd be a really sad long life. So what would you say you're most of the way through the process of losing the weight you want to lose? What are your current goals? How much more weight do you want to lose? And any other goals that are fitness or weight loss related?
Well, as far as weight loss, ideally I'd like to lose about 50 more pounds. I've done 200, so it seems achievable. At one point it didn't seem achievable, but now it does. So that would be awesome if I could get there. Other goals, recently just started to run on a treadmill and outside, which I've never done before on my own. I played sports and stuff where you had to run, and that was miserable, but just doing it on my own for my own good, never done that before, and I recently was just able to run for 2 miles, so that's
huge. That's impressive.
Yeah, so that was a big thing. So I guess the goal there is just doing even more of that.
Maybe like a 5K.
Yeah, exactly. So
awesome. So I probably through some of the time you knew me, I ran too.
Yeah.
I got really into running.
I remember.
Which is funny because I hate running. But like when you get into it, it's just that like you're excited because you can do it, and B, it's always that like next thing. Like I want to run a 5K in this time, or now that I've run a 5K, I can run a 10K. And like it's like that growing through the process. So unfortunately for me, my knees cannot really handle running.
Yeah.
So good for you. I'm glad that that's working for you.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I won't push it too hard.
Right. But it's same with lifting. So I'm way more into the lifting side of things, and that's those goals that keep pushing you. You know,
Yes.
I want to be able to lift this much weight or this much weight for this many reps. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So with your plan, you did mention that you're running. What else are you doing for exercise?
Well, a big part of that has to do with my Apple Watch. They have this program called Apple Fitness Plus, and they have a bunch of different videos on there of all types. They have HIIT videos, they have like machine videos for treadmills and spinning and that kind of thing. So I actually started with the dance videos. That seemed the most fun / doable. So I did those at the very beginning, and they were hard for me. And then eventually they were a little too easy. So
nice.
I bumped up to the HIIT videos, and then I got a set of dumbbells for at home, because when I started all this, it was still COVID, and gyms weren't totally quite open yet. So, and it was winter, so I wanted stuff I could do easily at home.
Yeah.
In Ohio.
I think I remember you emailed me and said, "Is this a good set of dumbbells?"
And you were like, "Just get any of them."
I'm like, they're pretty much all the same. Those will be fine.
Dumbbells are dumbbells.
Yeah.
I wanted to make the right choice.
Yeah.
So.
I was like, those will be fine.
But yeah, and they have strength videos too. So I've been doing a lot of those.
Awesome. So I think that pretty much wraps up most of. Is there anything else you want to share about the process, or things that are important that you think, or you think we covered most of it?
I think we covered most of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I felt like we should share some kind of funny story about us, because since we've known each other for so long,
Yes.
and we've known each other through like different weights. Oh my gosh. Like, so when we met, I was probably closer to this weight, obviously, than my heaviest weight.
Yeah.
So I was in college and probably sitting around like 180 maybe.
Can't remember. But
And then gained weight
Yeah.
before I got married, lost weight to get married.
Yep.
And so we've been there through the ups, the downs,
Yeah.
and now finally both of us down, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But I feel like we should share some kind of funny story about us. So first of all, we should share what our favorite thing to do together is.
Yes.
Which is what we always go for Mexican food.
Yes.
So oddly enough, right after this, we're going for Mexican food.
Yay.
So it will be one of Suzette's real food meals that
Yes.
she gets to eat, but she's going to make good choices.
Mm-hmm. So is Sarah.
Some kind of salad. Absolutely. Making good choices. But let's see, a funny story about us. I'm like... So when we would get together, when we were probably in college...
Yeah.
We called them party planning parties.
We wanted to have a party.
We were always trying to have a party.
Yes.
But
we had to plan the party.
And it was a party planning party.
Yes.
Which we both determined was always more fun than the actual party.
Yes. And much less work.
Right. Because you just get together, you have
some
some pizza, you get some drinks, and you plan the party.
Yes.
Which I'm like, we needed just more party planning parties that never materialized into an actual party.
They should have been fake parties that we were planning.
Right. So I love that. So I think that's probably it for today.
Okay.
Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Sure.
And
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Good luck on the rest of your weight loss.
Thank you.
I know you can do it. I'm super impressed. I hadn't seen Suzette in about 6 months.
Yeah.
And when she sent me her pictures of her current progress, I was blown away. I was like, wow, what have you done in these past 6 months? I'm definitely not on that same path right now. I was like, whew, you did a lot. So congratulations.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Absolutely. All right. Bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye.